Hello, I'm Witch Nikki, and I'm going to show you a couple of crochet stitches for beginners. I did this once before, but we got in the middle of moving and I had to stop. I couldn't get back to it. So I'm just going to start all over again. This is a regular crochet hook. And this is a Tusani Afghan hook. There's a lot of ways to use this. I'm going to put the name of it down at the bottom. I don't even know if I said it correctly, but I'm going to show you what I'm working on with that. And I'm not working with two of these hooks. I'm using this one to kind of anchor it down because it has a tendency to roll up. Usually that's because I'm not using the right kind of hook or maybe just too tight, but I don't think it's about being too tight. This is the end that I'm working with though. And this is the back area and this is the front. Do you see that design? It looks really nice. And there's other ways to do this, but this is how I'm doing it for a project that I'm doing. This is a regular hook. I'm not seeing it. I think it came in a kit, but you can see the size of it. And I'm just going to show you on regular kind of yarn here how to make the chain. And the beginning chain. So what you want to do, wrap this around your finger so you have a little teeny end, or it doesn't matter, it could be a bigger end, it doesn't matter, because I'll show you what to do at the ends when you get done with them. Then you see how it's crossed? You're going to make a slip knot. And how you do that, you pull this loop off of your finger, and then the long working end, the end that goes to the ball of yarn, goes through, and you pull this. See, so it's like a slip knot. And they call it a slip knot because if you pull both ends, it'll disappear. So then there's so many different ways to doing it. People do it all different kind of ways. And once you get this hoop here, this is gigantic. And when you put your hook through, it's too big. So what you need to do is just pull it like that, so that not so tight. And you don't want to do it right here at the end because you see how it's kind of tapered right here. So move it back to the wider part of your hook so that it's still, you can move it back and forth, because if you go here and you make it too small, you're not going to get it to go back. It's going to be stuck right there and it's going to be too big. Too small. Now, you don't want to work with this teeny little end, so you're just going to kind of let it lay there. Now, as I mentioned before on my other video, you want to make a tension, and a tension helps keep this taunt straight, tight, whatever you want to call it. Because if you just go like this, it's not going to work. It's not workable. So what I like to do, and you can do it any way you want. Here's my hand like this, and I go around over these fingers, and then like this. But I like to do it pretty tight, close. Okay, so you have now the hook, and don't work up at the top kind of keep it down here to where it's a little bit thicker. Okay. And what you're going to do, it's hard for me to just turn this around, but you're facing this stuff and you're facing the hook, and you want to go over with this finger, pull it across the top of the hook so it's laying right across it. Imagine that this hook part is a head. See? And you're going to lay that right across the chest. Okay? If this was a person. I don't know how to describe it any better. Then you're going to pull that piece of yarn through that slidey hoop, sorry. And there you go. And then I like to hold on to that because this can get out of control and too big. You want to bring it back down to keep the sizes of the hoops about the same. Try to do it about the same. And so here we go. See, it's towards you, so when it's toward me, the hook is on top of the yarn. Then you pull the yarn over, get it into that, to the chin, and pull it through. Then you make an adjustment in it and try to make the loops so that they're the same. And you just keep doing that. And you do have to kind of back and forth adjust it. And it will look like this. You can just keep doing that till, I don't know, make 5, then make 10, make 20, however many you want. And then you can always take it out and start again. Okay. Let me see if I can count how many that I've done. Starting down here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, it got twisted. Don't worry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just do 2 more. So it'll be 10, 9, 10. Oops. It's got kind of twisted. And it can do that. So just take it out. Okay. Bring it over the chest, up under the chin, pull it through. Okay. And kind of, when you go up and down, you're kind of bringing it closer to the other stitches size so that they're not too open or too closed. Okay. So all of these are even. Let me do a couple that are not even so you can see the difference. So if you're getting, you're watching TV or something and you're just doing this. So I'm kind of looking at the screen. And maybe I'm just going on and on. Some people just hold on to an end until it gets a little bit out of the way, and then you bring it back up, hold on to it again, and that kind of sturdies it too. But you're going to see that when I started making this the chains were a little bit more closed. And then up here, when I wasn't really paying attention, see how some of them are open and some are closed and opened. Some of them were a little bit bigger. That's just going to make it not so straight. But if you're okay with the way it looks, just keep going with it. It's fine. Let's take it out, apart, start again. Okay, I know it's 10 minutes and I haven't even made anything yet. That's okay. You could practice this over and over again until you feel comfortable doing it. So, first thing, you make a knot by making this loop, and you pull the working yarn through that hoop. Oops, I forgot to go through. And then you just pull it until it gets tight. Then, because you don't want to work with it this big, you're going to bring it down a little bit, put the needle, the hook, through to the wide end of it, not to the neck. Okay, it's going to go off the neck. This is the body, the chest, the neck. I don't know. I don't think that they have names like that for it, but doesn't it kind of look like a person with the neck? I'm a crochet hook. Okay, so, and whatever you do, some people go around and around and around, and it almost looks like they're tangled up. I just go around the pinky, lift these fingers up, and then around this one. I think that's pretty much how I do it. Sometimes a slow motion. See? Okay, so you hold this end, 2 fingers, the knot, and you wrap the thread around and you pull it through. And you just keep doing it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Hold on. It's getting too far away from your fingers. You want to do like 3 or 4. And maybe 3, and then hold on to it again. 1, 2, 3. Bring your fingers up. See what I mean? Hold on to it. You're always holding on to it. But here's what's going to happen if you don't hold on to it. You're just going to keep going and going and going and going. And then pretty soon it's all loose, and these loops up here have gotten loose now. Do you see that? To where these were more smaller. So that's another reason why you do 3 stitches, you bring your fingers up to it again. Do 3 more and bring it up. You're kind of following along so that you keep these stitches nearly the same size. See that? Okay. I'm not even really going to count these. It's okay. When you're just practicing, you want a good amount so you can see what's happening. Okay? That's a good amount because I don't want it too long that you can't see what I'm doing. So this is what my chain looks like. And I'm going to do the next one now, which is just going to be a single stitch crochet. Okay, so what you're going to do, you don't wrap it around the neck or the hook part, but you're going to go into the next hoop chain, not the one that has the stitch on it, and not the one that has this thread coming out of it. Okay, you're going to go to the next one. So let me get that down here. Okay, let me show you. You're not going to go into this one because that has the hook in it. You're not going to go into the next one that has the thread coming out of it. You're going to go into the next hoop. That will be your first one that you go into. So bring this chain, the hook, go into that next chain, just like this. Put this thread over the hook, pull it through, and then you have two. Okay, now you're going to go over it again and pull it through the two. Okay, let's do it again. Now you're going to do the next one. You've already worked in turn it around. You've already worked into that one. So the next one available, you're going to go into. That's right here. On some of these knitting and crocheting programs, videos, the people work things just too fast, like you're supposed to see it as fast as they're working it. So you put your hook in that first chain, you bring the thread so it's crossed over, so you bring it over, pull it through one, okay, then you have two. Do it again, bring this over and pull it through the two. Okay, that's another one. So I'm going to do it again. You put your hook in, cross over, pull it through one, then you have two. Cross over, pull through the two. I'll do it again. Stick it through one, cross over, pull it through, then you have two. Pull the thread over the hook, kind of turn it, and then pull it through that two. I'll show you what it's starting to look like now that you have 3 stitches. We did it 3 times, so now you see it's starting to develop into a thicker piece. Here's the chain still with nothing added to it, and here's what we've added so far. And you can see where the thread is like a little chain, and so there's 1, 2, 3 of those that we've made. So you're going to do it until you get to the end. So you put your hook through that chain, wrap this over, pull it through, and you have 2. Wrap it over, pull it through the 2. Then you go to the very next one. You can kind of hold your finger in place, your thumb and your finger over in place, so that you're not getting confused with the other ones. We're going to go into here, so I'm going to hold my fingers over it, the next one. So you go in, over, pull it through. Now you have 2. Over, pull it through the 2. Okay. Then you have the next one. right here, cross over, pull through 1, now you have 2, cross over, pull it through the 2, also pull it down a little bit so that it's a little bit tight, but you still want it to be open so you can work with it. Push it through, cross over, pull it through 1, then you have 2. Bring it over, pull it through the 2. Tighten and adjust as you need to do. Let me go one more. See, I'm kind of holding this down to keep it out of the way. Push this through, pull it through. Now you have 2. Go over, pull it through the 2. Next one, push through one, bring the yarn over, cross, pull it through 1, you have 2, over again, and pull it through the 2. Now we're getting to the very last one that's next to the knot. It's not where the knot is tied, it's just the next little loop past the little knot. Pull through 1, cross over, pull through 2. Now we finished this whole single crocheted chain. The chain stitch was the beginning, and this is single crochet. So I'm going to leave you with that and keep practicing. I hope that you're trying to do these. You don't have to buy fancy yarn. Sorry about that. You don't have to buy fancy yarn. This is like leftover yarn that I've had for so many years. I never get rid of the ends. In fact, you're going to see that there's a pink color in here. They're kind of related in color a little bit, so I've tied them together and made one continuous ball out of them. And I do that every once in a while. I do that. I have some leftover yarn and I make a little project. Whatever comes out, comes out. So my battery power is low and I'm gonna let you go. Have a good evening and I'll see you next time. Witch Nikki, Crocheting for Beginners.